Welcome back to another vlog. Today we're going to be doing some work on the R33. We're going to be rewiring some of the battery terminals in anticipation of installing a Walro 455, otherwise known as a bomba decombustible. We've got all of the wiring ready to go. First things first, we're going to kind of fix up all the battery terminals and the wiring to make it nice and neat. And then what we'll do is we'll look to install the fuel pump. Those in the know will know that you need to upgrade your wiring and wire in a relay to make sure that you get the full juice out of your fuel pump. So we're going to go through that today. Just a couple of quick updates on the R33. You'll see we've wrapped the wing blade in some nice carbon fibre, as well as the wing tips, and we've also done the B pillars as well. Came out pretty good. First time at wrapping. Might need to do the spoiler again because there are some imperfections. You can probably see there. We'll need to get out. But all in all, looks pretty good. Looks much better in the sun as well. All right, let's get to it. So just a quick walkthrough of what we're going to do with the battery. We're going to put new negative and positive terminals on. The negative is going to have a quick release, so we don't have to undo ground wiring every time we want to, play with the electrics. And in the positive, it's got a couple of different connection types, so we don't have to keep, connecting ancillary power through, to this using an I terminal. It can just go straight in. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to mount a relay on here to control the fuel pump. And for those that have tuned into earlier episodes, we did install an amp here just on sort of a quick release swivel bracket there, so it'll make it really easy for us to work on the fuel pump. All right, so let's get started. We'll start with the negative, do the positive, and then we'll start wiring in the relay. All right, we've got our new ground cable all wired up. We've taken the opportunity to replace the hardware as well because there's a bit of a mix match of bolts, so they're all 10 mils now. And you'll see we've got that quick release on the negative terminal. Just a quick tip for young players, the battery terminals on this battery were sort of undersized for the quick release, so we've just put some shims on those. We'll get this all wired up and see how it fits. And that's much better. Now we've got the quick release. Now we need to move to the positive terminal and basically replace this thing. So we'll go back inside and mark up the wiring and get that one fitted. So I've got the positive terminal all wired up. You can see that's nice and neat now, all into the one terminal. Both the sort of power wire as well as the amp power wire. We've got this nice quick release on the negative, and the earth's been rewired as well. One small issue though, you're meant to just be able to sort of turn this and the power goes off and you see the light goes off. But if I touch, it comes straight back on. So I think it must have to sit up and in to stop the grounding happening. But yeah, definitely not safe to be working on electrics just with that. So see, just came straight back on. So might have to do a bit of research to figure out how it's meant to work and function properly. Next up, we're going to test fit the relay. We're going to mount it here, and you'll see I've already got a couple wires running, but we're going to do the earth and the power. I'm just going to mock them up. We won't connect them just yet before we move on to doing the fuel pump. Test fitted the relay. I'm just going to double-sided sticky tape it to the fuse box. We've got one cable running to the battery. We'll have another one that'll run to the fuel pump. We've got a ground, and then all we need to do is, once we've got the fuel pump wiring out, is just hook up this one to trigger the relay. So I'm just going to put some double-sided sticky tape there, and should be good to move on to the fuel pump. We've removed the protection plate here. You see this thing is filthy. So I might need to just give a bit of a clean out before we remove the fuel hat so nothing goes into the tank. You'll see our our little contraption with the amps worked a treat, and we've just been able to swivel that out of the way. I've now disconnected the fuel pump. I'm just going to prime the car so it gets all the fuel out of those lines. I'll give this a clean up and then we'll have a go at removing the fuel hat there. I imagine it'll be baked on, so might need to replace that, but we'll see how we go. All right, we've managed to get the fuel hoses off, and they were a bloody bitch to remove. They were well baked on. So now to get the fuel hat off, we've got a trusty hammer and just something that you can kind of wedge in on the teeth, and we're just going to slightly tap it and just kind of get it rotating, and then we'll use our hands to finish off the job. All right, we've got the new fuel pump all installed on the bracket. I did make a mistake before. This is a 460 Walbro, not a 455. I don't think they ever make those. The kit I got from EFI came with everything, including the sock, the silicone coupler that goes, or the silicone kind of barrier that goes around the fuel pump, as well as the coupler there, fuel hose, as well as these nice fuel safe wiring and some clips. We did wire in some thicker gauge wire up to the fuel hat. The other thing I did order, and here's the standard fuel pump just for comparison, so a little bit larger. I did order some new clips. I was originally going to go with bulkheads to connect the wires from underneath the fuel cap to the top of the fuel hat, but we've got some of these on the way, so I'll wire those in, and then it should be pretty straightforward to plug it all together, remount it, and then finish the wiring to the relay, ready for a first startup. Looking pretty good, pretty easy to pull together. A few little fiddly bits, but nothing we can't handle here at Boosted Baker.
2 hours later.
So we managed to wire everything up. We got those clips in. I had to go a smaller gauge wire, but it'll still do the job. We've tested it with our multimeter that we're getting signal all the way through from the hat all the way through to the fuel pump, so we're good now to go and install this one back. I also took the opportunity to kind of clean the fuel hat, so it looks almost new, but a lot better than it did before. So we've got the fuel pump back in, the hat back on, all of the fuel hoses connected. We've got it wired up. We did do a bit of a prime and test, and there were no leaks, so I'm going to go ahead and button this all up and get everything back installed for a first startup. All right, we're all wired up, everything's connected. We've now got our power terminals coming out of that one battery terminal, all nice and neat. Let's get ready for a first startup. Let's see. Oh, there she is. Starts up pretty easily. Alright guys, I think we might need to change the channel to the Wiring King. So we're all done. Stay tuned. Next, we've got a couple of other goodies coming up. Got some other parts on the way to do with the fueling system, something from Radium, as well as billet performance parts as well. So we'll have those hopefully for the next video and get them installed. Cheers.